Let me share a story with you. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. This is where it gets very serious, okay? Is that okay? Because I'm going to how children perceive love. Then I'm going to touch parenting. This is where we are going to have issues. One time, a young lady came from a very funny home. I mean, you didn't choose where you were born, so it's not your fault. But the mom and the dad had issues, so much so that the way the mother knows to deal with the man is to mix food that is already decomposing with new ones. Soup that is decomposing, she will add some ingredients, and she's found that if she had more pepper, it will not taste the sourness. And she will add some new ones and open it when she's warming it so the smell can go out. And she will serve him and watch it. And many times when the mother is doing it, she will be in the kitchen gisting with her. I told her, don't marry like this. You have seen it. You are likely going to repeat it. Because something will tell you when a man is like this, that's how to respond. Many parents destroyed their own children's homes because they don't know how children perceive love. The way a child perceives love is sacrifice. It's not the useless stories we hear. It is who is making sacrifices that shows that this is the mother. Let me show you a story. One of the stories about Solomon, or one of the events in the life of Solomon that made Solomon so popular, his fame went abroad when that happened, was when an harlot slept on her own child and went to pick the child of her friend that they gave birth around the same time and dropped her own dead child around that one. And in the morning, they both complained, yeah, no, this is not my child. I said, that's my child. They went to the palace. The king commanded one of his swordsmen, take your sword and divide the child into two. It was the mother of the child who was willing to sacrifice ownership for survival. Listen to this. As you begin to grow older, you must learn that you have more than just your husband or your wife to love. Now you have children to love. And what will communicate love to them is that in your decisions, they can see sacrifices, things that are legitimate that you had to forego so they can have a good life. So it is woke to the generation that if a man is stressing you, leave the house for him. I'm not talking about the case of domestic violence now. If it is woke to be a baby mama, I can't be submitted under any man. Then you will raise children without fathers in their life because you lived for you. You did what you did for you, not for them. And they grow up lacking the vital part a man supplies. One party can't bring what God designed the both parties to bring. And you must understand that. That as you are maturing, you start learning not to live for you alone. Because it is not about you alone. You will have to make decisions considering your children. That when I insult his personality or insult her personality, do I want my daughter to be dragged like this? You must learn to begin to make decisions. To stop eating alone. Start becoming responsible. Start thinking about the fact that somebody is going to come out from your loins. That your decisions directly affect who they become. Some mothers and fathers have children who are into Yahoo, or what we call internet fraud. And they will take the children's name to prophets to pray for the child. That's not sacrifice for the child. That is for their own belly. She doesn't love the child. She just wants to survive. Because many people have not learned to understand what love is. When a woman has a child, and she would rather take the child out in the sun at Oshodi, begging with the children, using them to draw compassion, when she could have learned tailoring or learned something, give them a better life. That is not mother's love. That is wickedness. And where I'm going is, many things about the setting of the African home is bad. It is abusive, it is dysfunctional, and it has raised dysfunctional men and women. It has raised dysfunctional men and women. You don't complain in this house because you heard it from a dysfunctional father. Children don't dare to question things because you were from a place that is broken. You are not raising zombies. And in failure to communicate, many girls have been raped under the noses of their parents. They can't talk because in African homes we raise zombies who can't talk. And you have learned the same thing. The way you know how to communicate leadership is that you shut people up and they can't speak their minds. And these things follows us as pastors. Many pastors are abusive because they are from abusive backgrounds. And when I mean abusive, I mean they will abuse your essence. It is not just fathers who don't know how to hug and say I love you. I know what it took for me to learn it as a pastor. I had to go on a personal decision, a personal journey to learn to be soft. That I can hug any of my pastors. And sometimes I watch how I struggle to do it, and I know that something is spoiled within me. This is not the definition of a man. Don't accept yourself the way you are. Go on a journey to heal and be soft and release that love. You will have it. It is that dysfunctionality that has closed that place. And we must understand that. Start learning to make decisions that favors your children. Begin from now by marrying a good person, not for yourself, but for them also. We have to understand that. Children essentially understand love by looking at the sacrifices you make for them. So anybody who doesn't understand sacrifice should not attempt parenting. It's a journey of compromise, of sacrifices, where you have to withhold certain things and not respond in certain ways because your daughter is watching.